Mario Kart.
Oh, man.
Oh, years. I used to play Mario Kart, listen to, it wasn't Nine Inch Nails, it was another one. How do you increase the number of repeat customers? That's what we're covering today. You know, for me, I see these entrepreneurs and they're frustrated because they've got a lot of turnover in their business, right? And when I ask them, it's like, what's the lifetime value of their business? They're like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. It's like, why are you always doing new projects? Why aren't you actually sitting down and saying, okay, what can we do as a company, product or service, to make sure that we have new opportunities with our existing customers? Because at the end of the day, here's what I've learned. The purpose of a business is to create, and here's the magic word, keep a customer. Right? And if you do it right, you have these long-term customers. It allows you to plan better. You know, you have less challenges always trying to find new customers. You know, I really had to learn this lesson the hard way when we were building my company, Flowtown. It was a social marketing application for small businesses. And I remember we sat down and we looked at a thing called the churn, right? And those of you guys out there know, it's like churn is the most important number in building software. And I'm looking at it, and I remember calculating it with my co-founder. I'm like, we have a 20% churn. And he's like, is that good or bad? And I said, well, here's a way to think about it. With a 20% monthly churn, every 5 months, we lose all our customers. He's like, that does not sound like a good business. And I was like, I know. I was like, on average, a company should be at like 8 to 10% churn per year. So we had to figure out how to change that in fast and pronto. So that's what I want to share with you guys is a process to how to think about it. And this applies to software, service businesses, other types of companies, to really think of how can you approach your customers in a way that'll create repeat business. Now, number one is you got to offer an ongoing service. You know, and I've seen this true for, you know, agencies that do kind of one and done projects. They don't think about, well, what's the ongoing service after the fact. Maybe it's website maintenance. Maybe it's whatever. I mean, just this morning, I had the guy that manages my air filter. He has a computer system that monitors all his customers. He's like, hey, do you want us to change your air filter? And I was like, does it need to be changed? He's like, yeah, it does. And I'm like, cool. He goes, well, we actually have a service plan. And I'm like, you have a service plan. Do you tell me about your plan? It's like, well, and it's, you know, it's $3 or something, whatever bucks a year, and we'll come every 3 months and we'll change it. And I'm just like, you know what, sign me up. He got me with the ongoing service for somebody that installed my furnace. That, I mean, everybody watching this has an opportunity to think about what's something that I could offer my customers. And could it be something you're not even offering that you have to do yourself, but you can offer it to get a residual to build that ongoing revenue. Number two, I want you to start strong. Okay, what I mean by that is onboarding and new customers. When you start with somebody, you want to make sure that experience of them getting started with your business is awesome. That it's clear expectations, and here's what you can expect, and making sure that they get the value as fast as possible, right? You have a core value in your business. You have a customer who just signed up. How fast can you get them to experience that core value? Because that'll allow them to think about, like, man, these people really know how to operate their business. And that was one of the first things we did in our company to improve the churn numbers, to make sure that our activation rate, which is that core value to customer, was high. Number three that you need to do is you got to continue adding value. You know, some people, they think, well, I got a customer and they're good and they're on the service and I don't need to talk to them. That's crazy. You need to ask yourself this question. If you want to grow your business, and this is not even just about continuously adding value, you need to ask yourself is, how can I create more value for my customer than anybody else in the world? Any competitor, how do I do that? Answering that question, especially implementing it for your customers, is how you're going to win this game, right? Number four is end strong. Okay? So even if there is an ending to the project, and I'm going to teach you what to do next, you want to make sure you end on the best note possible. It means you want to give them a report. You want to show them the value they've received. You want to make sure that they understand what went on. Because there's this thing called the primacy and recency bias, right? It's why we always remember the first, second, and third out of the list of three. Is the primacy is the first thing, right? And that's why I say start strong, build your onboarding experience for your new customer. Then end strong, which is a primacy, because they're going to only remember the beginning and the end. Sure, there might be some challenges in the middle, but typically that is their experience when they think to themselves, how was it working with that company? They're going to look at those 2 points. So ending strong, making sure that they're happy. Most customers or companies don't even think about this for their customers. And I think it is everything, because that bias exists at a human and psychological level. The recency, primacy bias, go check it out. So you want to end strong. And then finally, number 5, You want to make sure that you ask for more business. You know, the funniest thing I see all the time with companies is they've never actually gone back to previous customers and asked them for more business. They've never said, okay, once a quarter, we're going to reach out. We're going to do it via video. If you want to watch my video on video re-engagement on my YouTube channel, go check that out. If they don't think about, like, how do I connect and create value for them even after they're a customer so that you can ask for the business. Because it's called TOMA, top of mind awareness. In your market, when they think of the problem they're having and you as a company could solve it, they either think of you or they don't. And that's what you want for every past customer, is to say, oh, I need a new design, I got to reach out to this agency. I need to amplify my analytics or reporting when I use this software. Whatever it is, that's your opportunities. You got to ask for the business. Now, finally, this is ninja. You want to know the #1 tip to make all of this magical? Is ask for a testimonial and this is what I do, is a case study or essentially an interview that can act as a testimonial and a case study. And there's a really easy way to do it using Skype or in person. Grab a camera and just be like, hey, what was your life before? How did it work out? What were the results? What would you tell somebody that's sitting on the fence? That's a quick level format for doing a very easy case studies. Companies like Airbnb pretty much built their business on their host case studies. If you go on and check that out, I think that's an opportunity for everybody. If you do everything else right and the customer doesn't decide to do more work with you, who cares? Who cares? That's bad. But get the case study, get the testimonial so that you can make sure that other companies like that company see that you've done work for them. That's your opportunity. So what I want to ask you below is, what are you going to do to change all this? What are you going to do to make sure you get repeat customers? Answer that question below in the comments. I'll be sure to answer every one of them. As per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business. I'll see you next Monday. Cheers. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'd also invite you to join my newsletter, where I share exclusive invites to private events and also free training videos. And if you're ready to get going, I've got 2 playlists queued up ready for you.